Hello, everybody. Welcome to our next Arkham Horror list video, where we're going to be talking about the best solo investigator for each class. We had some discussion that we will then repeat some things here, as well as I think talking about the runners up in our decisions as well was also important, because there was a lot of it was tough for a lot of these, especially the Rogue one, which I'm very excited to talk about more here. Sorry, Travis?
I said there's a couple of them that were contentious.
Yeah, some, okay, we'll dive in and get the easy one out of the way first. For the Guardian class, we believe the best solo investigator is Mark Harrigan. I can't think of anyone else. Maybe Roland Banks is probably the next closest.
Yeah, Roland could probably do everything that needs to be done on his own. He's just very fragile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mark also, you might be saying, but Mark also has low sanity. But Mark also can, he has 3 brain, can turn it to 5, no problem. And he's gonna get through monsters quicker than his stats are just so good.
Yeah, as we say, Mark's the best fighter, and he's also good at other things too.
Mm-hmm. And
his stat line is just kind of sick.
Yeah, and it also doesn't hurt his case that he's super sexy.
He's
we try not to factor into the case, but you'll find if we did a list of most attractive investigators, a couple of them would be the same investigators on this list.
Yeah, definitely. I have nothing else really to say about Mark. We did kind of rank the classes, and I don't know if the other guys agree with me, but Guardian is, I think, the weakest solo class because they fight monsters, which is good, but the other classes have ways of fighting monsters but also gaining clues without relying on monsters showing up. All right.
I agree with that.
Let's move on to then the Seeker class, which I say we believe, but we're not all in agreement with for all of these, but this is the PBG current stamp of approval. This will change from video to video, but right now, the Seeker that we think is the best at solo is Mandy Thompson. The notable runner-ups for this one were Ursula Downs and Joe Diamond. Travis made an excellent point that while Joe Diamond's stats are really nice, he has 4 book and 4 fist. He does what you need to do. He's very weak to the Mythos deck, but also his Hunch deck can be really random, so you can't really rely on that being a consistent thing. While with Ursula and Mandy, you always have your card text as relevant. It's always a good thing for you. And
yeah, if you were guaranteed to be able to play the card, if you could pick which card was on top of Joe's Hunch deck every turn, it'd be a different story, but you can't.
Mm-hmm. And
which is good.
Yeah, it is good. No, it's not a complaint. It's just how it is.
Yeah. No, this one's just a little bit good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mandy's
anything or whatever, it doesn't matter.
And Mandy does take a bit of time to get going. She has to search her deck and all that. But she also has 5 book, and a lot of her searches end up being free or something she's going to be just doing through other effects, for practice makes perfect, for example, that she can just... The speed in which she gets card advantage and also can grab clues is pretty stellar. I know in solo there's usually only 1 clue on a location or 2 clues on most cases. But still, 5 book and a deduction on a 2-clue location means 1 action, suck those up, right? Well, Ursula also can do that. That extra 5 book is more relevant than you think, even if people in the YouTube comments might disagree with that. What did we also like about Ursula? What was her case, Brandon, that made her close?
She's got a built-in way to deal with enemies that show up. You can just evade them and move on with your life if you don't have a way to fight them right now.
Yeah. I do think her, there's a lot of ways to play around her weakness, but her weakness can sometimes really throw a wrench in things, right? For Ursula. And her personals, I know, they don't really matter too much, but But like Mandy's personal can just give her a clue while searching. Like that's a pretty sweet thing. And I think it's better than just Jake Williams showing up and being like, hey, Ursula, let's go on an adventure. But I think with this one as well, we weren't too... Yellow, their card pool is so strong that most of them could do a pretty good job. Notably, I think Rex is the worst. Because... Well, not the worst, but like his... Like, normally we rank Rex really high, but in solo, probably not as much.
Yeah, there's less locations that have a whole pile of clues that you need to grab on them.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's go to the Rogue class. So... the ultimate decision went with Finn Edwards, but it was like splitting hairs between him and Trish Scarborough. Their stats are very close. They both have 4 in book, 4 in foot, 2 brain for Trish, and then 2 fists, but as you can see, Finn has 1 and 3. And their abilities both... Trish's ability does get you more clues, which... sometimes isn't as relevant in solo, but there are locations where there's going to be 2 clues, and being able to snatch 2 of those is good. Finn always gets a free evade, and if you have ways to bump that up, it's pretty easy to just run away from your problems with Finn. I had a lot of success with Finn in solo. I've not played Trish. That's why Finn got the vote over me. Do you guys want to add any other thoughts about Finn and Trish?
Trish's ability also lets her evade for free.
Yeah.
Not just get extra clues.
Yeah, which is super nice for when there's a 1-clue location and you grab that last clue.
If it was just extra clues, it wouldn't be a consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you do need a card to make that happen.
Yeah, but you can fail Finn's test. And that way you have nothing.
You try again.
And he's spent real action. Whereas with Trish, if you have the card, you just do it.
Yeah, but you gotta have the card.
Yeah, but it's not hard. There's a million cards that let you do that for free. You just roll around as your ally, and she gives you all the stats you need, and you're just like, I'll just pay the guy off, and he's gone.
As you can see from this, Bryn was in the Finn camp, Travis was in the Trish camp. I ultimately sided with Finn, as I said, but I'm very interested to see in the comments what you guys think about this. Because I think they're both... Pardon, Travis?
I said settle our debate for us.
Yeah. I think they're like... The thing is, I think they're strong. Like, it's just which one is better. And I think that also comes down to personal preference, too. Because Travis, he likes the... Trish has some very nice yellow cards that she can have access to, which is really awesome in her pool. Finn, you can grab some luckies with his red cards and, like, just... Maybe even like some look what I found so you don't fall behind, or other things that you want to get, or like a resourceful or a scrounge for supplies to get cards back. There's a lot of power in each of these investigators. So comments settle our debate for us. And now let's go to a nice easy one that we all agreed with, which was our mystic, who was none other than, you guessed it, Luke Robinson. Wow. Luke's crazy. Seeing him in action again in our most recent video, which started last Friday, he's crazy. Just being able to, like, literally warp away from his problems to another space on the board is just, it's elusive. Like, that's crazy.
No, he just is real good.
And, like, he has Seeker for his off class. Like, he's built to get clues.
There's a common theme you might see.
Sorry, Travis?
Being able to play yellow cards is a common theme in these.
Yes, yeah. It's for everybody except our Survivor, number 1.
Yeah, ironically, the one we think is the best.
But yeah, just being able to zip around the board. It's like, it can't be understated, especially in solo when you only have like 3 actions. So like, it's not like you have 6 or 9 where someone else can do something if you can't get to something this turn. Luke can just get there, and then also, depending on how you build your deck, which you probably want to build it this way in solo, you can refill your... Like, just get Luke Robinson, the sophist, and like clue stuff, and then like just keep filling out your dream box. Like, you won't lose. There's just... I don't see how you can. There's just so much action efficiency there. dude's crazy. I think the only relevant runner-up, I think Jacqueline is really good. I'd wager she's very good in solo. Anyone else we can think of?
I think, like, pretty much every Mystic in the game has a pretty fair shake of playing solo. Because, you just test your brain and...
and do it, yeah.
Do your thing.
I think they're all okay, but I don't think... I think, like, Mystic is probably the second worst class for solo.
I agree with that, too. And I think it's because Mystic, as I've said in our Mono Mystic run, they're just so fair. They're like the best designed class.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Also, I didn't say this, but Lola is the best neutral investigator. It's on the record. I've said it. It was a no contest. She easily walked away with the victory. Best survivor investigator was Wendy Adams. We've talked about her a lot. She was the number one in our previous solo investigator series. Investigator list. And she's just been able to have 4 brain and 4 book to avoid anything that might hurt her while having 4 brain and 4 foot and then 3 book. Her stat line's incredible. There's no wasted point. And then she can just mulligan any test that she draws a token for, like once per round, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's incredible. She's killing.
Or is it once per test?
I'll find out.
It's once per test or ability. Just kidding. It's once per test or ability.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, you do need cards to make that happen, but like, how often are you going to want to mulligan? It comes down to, right? Limit once per test or ability. Wow. Wendy's great.
Yeah, the only thing she really struggles with is advancing the game state when you have to defeat an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it's not impossible, but it is the only thing that she's not great at.
Mm-hmm.
Odds are good you can just end the scenario before that matters anyway. And most of the newer scenarios, pretty much everything before or after the last half of Dunwich,
yeah,
there's an option to beat it by gaining clues instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our runners-up were Ashcan Pete and Stella. And I think, as Travis said, it's no contentious point, but Survivor is the best solo class.
They are all kind of good at it.
Yeah. Like, even Rita, who I'm not hot on, just being able to, like, damage while evading and, like, still having, like, a pretty good stat line for dealing with other things, like, she's gonna rock it, too. Not as good as Wendy. Yeah. It's interesting to see. It's, I've been wanting to do some solo runs on the channel, but my recording schedule is so freaking jam-packed with other stuff. I do want to get to it eventually, and I think I need to do a Wendy Adams solo run because we've talked about so many times how good she is in solo. And a lot of people are like, I don't believe it. And I'm like, well, let me put the PBG money where the PBG mouth is and see how she does in a video series. So if you want that, let me know in the comments, and I'll make time for it. Yeah. Those are currently, this will change. Like, we could revisit this video like every cycle and there will probably be some change between them because we're always learning more about the game and what we just value in areas we didn't really know before. I remember when we first reviewed Dr. Milan Christopher and we said he was good, not great. And that was about the taboo like the untabooed version, so...
Yeah, there was also a whole lot less to do with resources, though.
That is
because
true.
The people who could play him were Roland Banks and Daisy. And, like, Daisy, sure, Daisy can abuse the shit out of, like, pretty much any kind of extra money. Yeah. But, like, Roland, he's still just investigating at 4. That's not that good.
I guess that's me saying, we're not sitting here pretending our word is law. Like, for anyone who's like, I disagree with this list, tell us in the comments, because it's all different for everybody. So
Justin, people look to us as authority. You gotta have more confidence.
all right, in that case,
You
I'll
are
double
right.
down. Lola Hayes is the best neutral investigator for solo play. She's the best. Easy. Goodbye, YouTube.